This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Sorry, I was on mute. There. So, I mean, it's the first one, Dave, of the year, the season. Give me a break, man. Hello and welcome to the Latics Football Phony with me and laughing, sexy Dave Bradley. Just have a drink. Don't worry about it. Well, we'll come on air and then you just... What are you drinking there? Is it blue?
Yeah, it's Tory juice. Just to give me a Tory juice to make you a bit more
loose.
of a capitalist.
Tory juice to make you loose.
Yeah. Get it with no excuse.
We did a rap last season, Dave, to wrap it up. We won't. Let's not try doing any rhymes now. How are you, Dave?
Good. Good summer.
Yeah, good. No, it's rubbish summer.
I had a nice summer.
I mean, we're still in it, aren't we? But the weather's been pretty terrible. Now it's all kicking off, which is why we're not at the studio this evening, because there was supposedly a protest or something very close to the studio, and that's been closed for most of the day, actually. So we're doing it from home. I did offer
my sexy prowess to go down there and just calm everybody down, but I don't think.
I don't think anything's actually happening, which is good. I'm glad about that. So that's the main thing.
Hey guys,
people stay safe.
Stop fighting and make love to one another. We're in a free world.
What a horrible image that is.
Oh, God. Maybe not. No.
Let's see who's in the comments. Hello, lads. Hope you're all okay. We are okay. Thanks, Bob. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Tom.
Have you put the chat
link welcome back, Chris. I have put the chat link in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to give you one guess, Dave, on who was the first person in waiting to chat.
Barry Owen.
No, it's not Barry. No, Barry's never decided to put his wine down and give us a call.
All right.
I said I'd give you one guess. I'll give you one more.
David Unsworth.
No. Stop messing.
I'm joking. Ibby,
of course it is. It's Ibby. So you know the link is in the chat. You know where to find us. You know to get in touch. Get in touch. Talk to us. We've got Brad lined up as well. But let's crack on with our first caller of the. Well, it's not quite the season yet, but let's find out how. What do you reckon, Dave? Optimistic or pessimistic from Ibby? What do you reckon?
I think he'd be optimistic.
Do you think he's raring to go and looking forward to the new season? Full faith in Micky Mellon. What do you reckon? Should we find out?
Well, let's see.
Hello, Ibby.
Welcome back, guys.
Thanks very much, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Nice to see you guys coming back online now, Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesdays are back to normal, Ibby.
Yeah, I've got to say that the signings we've made has been impressive.
Who you liking the most?
Whoever, most of the signings that have come in, I like all of them. But I believe that it's a big season for Micky Mellon. He has to hit the ground running. And he knows that if he goes under some bad spells, his job's on the line. But let's not think about that. Let's look forward. And I believe that this season, we are going to get out of this league 100%.
Did you listen to the podcast at the weekend, Ibby?
I did, and it was brilliant to listen.
What about Dave's prediction of finishing 11th, though?
Well, people can be wrong, but I always go positive. And I believe that this season, we will get out of this league because there's not big guns in there anymore. We had Chesterfield, Wrexham gone up, and we just need to hit the ground running, but we do need a goal scorer in. I was disappointed that Matt Smith didn't come in because I did call it from the off that he was due to sign, but he's changed his mind, wants to focus on his business.
Well,
I wasn't too sure about how I felt about Matt Smith, to be honest with you, coming back. I mean, he obviously did really well last season, and he's really, really dangerous. But we've got a load of 30, aging strikers already at the club, haven't we? And I don't know. I do think we need somebody else in, possibly as a striker, but I don't know. I'd rather us put the money into somebody that's going to have maybe a bit of sell-on value, and you might get a bit longer out of. So I'm not massively disappointed. Having said that, if he'd come in and perform like he did last season, then none of us would have been complaining. So just one of those things.
A lot of Salford fans said that the football suffered because although despite his number of goals, they were just hoofing it long ball, so they didn't have any real other plan B. So hence why the position they finished was quite low in the table, because they just kept on pumping it up. Don't get me wrong, he scored a lot of goals, but when that idea ran out, they struggled like anything. So
to be fair, Dave, that plenty of Oldham fans watching this now be thinking, well, that's all we did last season anyway, so that'd be ideal, I guess. But I'm sure Micky Mellon, based on the conversation we had with him, I mean, I thought it was quite good actually when we interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, when he opened up about the style of football, and all that kind of thing, and how he grew up like we all did with wingers and that kind of exciting brand of football. I think last season, I just don't think that he actually had the players to deliver that kind of football, did he?
Yeah, you're right there. But this season he's made the signings, like he signed somebody today, and he said that the manager was after me, which I really like to hear, because Micky Mellon has been chasing him for a while, and he knows him, and I believe that they will come good. But I'm feeling the worst that if we do end up going on a bad run, will the board give in?
I can't.
Hang on a minute. You can't be optimistic and be fearing the worst at the same time. Maybe come on, come on, stay strong. I think from the conversation that we had with Darren and Mickey, and based on which was an obvious disaster under Unsworth and the amount of signings and players that we needed to ship on and all that, there is going to be a few seasons where it's going to take getting the kind of squad together that they want. And I think that they want a squad that is going to push through the divisions, or at least compete when we get up to the next level. I think, last season, we could have made the playoffs last season. And if we had done, and imagine we could have done by it's not that we have blessed with luck, but if we'd have been lucky and got through and got up this season, we'd have been really struggling, I think, in League Two. So as much as you want to get promotion and you'll take it, I think the idea is to try and emulate what's been done by other clubs and be in a good position with a good squad of players that are ready to move through and are going to grow and evolve and get better year after year. So I understand that process, and I'm happy for that. As long as there's obvious signs that that's happening, and then I'm happy. And I think that I don't think there's any, apart from Dave. I think Dave's just playing it cool with the 11th, so that he can be happy when we make the playoffs. But I think
it can be a pleasure. No, honestly,
we need that experience this season, don't we? We've got to get into the playoffs this season.
You know who I'm looking forward this season? Hammond. I think he's going to come really good because he's had a decent little pre-season. Got high hopes for him, and I think he will come good this season. And a lot of fans will start taking to him seriously, because I think there's a very gem signing in him if he gets going.
I think he's only got 1 year left on as well, so he's going to put himself in the shop window this season, either for a new contract or for maybe a move. So I hope, if he does have a groundbreaking season. I thought he was all right towards the end of last season. He was a bit unlucky not to play the last few games because he had a lot of energy in that middle of the park, like Kidderminster, Maidenhead away. He played really well, and I really rated him. But
the whole midfield, Dave, needs to step up, done it this season. That's a massive key, isn't it?
I just hope that Oldham. I hope Oldham end up signing Otis Khan because he offers us different.
Yeah.
Any player that is going to add value to the squad and fill positions that we've struggled with is what we need. And let's not forget, Dave, Micky Mellon knows what a good player looks like. So
he knows what good looks like.
My main question to you both is, what do you think about this season? Are we going to do it or not?
I think we're going to put ourselves in a position to do it. I don't think we'll win the league. But you never know, because like you said before, Ribby, there's no real big hitters in there. It's going to be very competitive, I think, this season. I think we'll be in the mix, and then if we get into the playoffs, it's it's anyone's, isn't it, at the playoff stages. So, but look, I mean, Andy said it himself on the podcast about last week about your heart ruling your head, and I think it's really, really hard as a fan to stay objective, and because you just want to believe, don't you? You have to go into a new season with that mindset of we're going to do well, especially when things are, at the club are so much better than they were, and we're all so desperate for success. I couldn't go into. I mean, I'd struggle to go into this season thinking, "Oh, we're going to finish 11th," like that. Do you know what I mean, Dave?
I just don't think we've got enough depth. 3 injuries, and we're knackered. That's my worry. That's my. I don't think we've got enough depth. And hopefully there's some more players coming in. It's still not over yet. We signed one today, which was completely unexpected. Otis Khan. They'll probably be looking for a replacement for Matt Smith. Because that must have been a hefty budget put aside for him to come and join on a potentially rumoured to be a 2-year deal. So hopefully he's gone back to the drawing board and he's got a few more people that he's looking at, because is it Dolby? He's been mentioned from Wrexham. He's got a good record, but we'll just have to see. I just don't want to overexcite myself like I did last season. Like, remember last year before Southend? Southend have got no, and we got done in 4-0. It's just,
yeah,
we've got
Ibby Oldham fan has missed you, so it's good to know, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good to know. I really wish you all the best,
Dave,
guys. And
Dave, Lucy's missed your sexy TV face, Dave. So that's good to know. But so's everybody else, mate. Sorry, Ibby, what were you saying there, mate?
Yeah, I hope to speak with you next week, and it's nice to have a good chat with you. And hopefully we'll beat them on Saturday 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
And look forward to the season, but we need to support the players and the manager, really.
100%, mate. Thanks for calling, Ibby. Thanks for getting the show off to kicking us off this season. See you later, mate.
Yeah,
see you, pal.
This is just an interesting point here that I'd like to raise. Evening, guys. Looking forward to tonight's show. Mellon has penis. Made some great signings and have a positive outlook on tonight's show. So,
well, Mellon, I didn't get that up close to him because I wasn't there. But can you confirm that? Does Micky Mellon have a penis?
I assume he has a penis, but it's not a question that me or Andy had thought to ask before the interview. But so there we go.
Post match. So you never know.
Mellon has a vagina. What is it? Dylan has a. What's it? Derek has a mangina. What is it? Step Brothers. Dale has a mangina. Martin says it didn't work with Chris Porter, did it? No, that's a good point. I don't know if he has a mangina. Okay.
I'm not asking that.
Matt, move either side of your screen. It's reflecting your glasses badly. Can't see if I do that, so I don't know how to. I don't know how to do it. You don't need to see my eyes, Danny. You'll turn to stone if you do.
Medusa Dean.
Yeah, right. Shall we bring Brad in? Because Brad's been waiting now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Should we do it? Oh, here he is. Here he is. All right,
hey, lads, you're right.
Yeah, I'll turn these off for a second though, because
yeah, Brad.
Brad looks better when it's a bit blurry. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. It's good to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back. I was hoping you get in touch because you've been watching all the friendlies, haven't you?
I watched 2. I watched 2 Warrington ones, and I watched the Lincoln one online.
Right.
Not been to an home one yet, but I went to the Warrington ones. But it's a different style of play. We seem to be playing. We played it on the floor a lot, but I don't know, is that the reason why we played it on the floor about a bit? Is because the main stand's shut and no one shouting "get it forward" every 5 seconds, because they're not the patient bunch in there. So they might be in for a shock when we pass it about a bit and try to keep possession instead of just lumping it, which we started playing a bit of football. Obviously, the big concern is if our first team start getting injuries, it's shown in the friendlies that the second team is not up to much really. And I think that is where the problem lies. And I think we're missing a striker, we're missing a creative player, and probably another winger.
But are you feeling happy with that? You know,
well, my
based on
prediction is exactly the same as Dave's.
To be fair, he probably robbed it off you because I think you put yours online before.
Yeah, there's 11. I'm not going into the season. I said this. I'm not going into
Dave?
the season with any expectations for once. Because last year I thought, right, we're going to be up there. We're going to be up there. Season before I thought, right, we'll be up there. So we're going to go into it with thinking as probably lowest I think we'll finish as possible, and anything might be a bonus. I do want something though. I just want something.
The reality is, Brad, that we've got rid of most of the players that were a problem last year and replaced them with better players, and we finished 10th last season. So we should, in theory, finish higher than that this season.
We should do, but I think the teams this season, obviously, I know Chesterfield stormed it last year. I think Forest Green are coming down, who are looking good. And also, there's a few, three of the teams who went down came up the following season. I think Braintree are going to look good this year. They've got a good strike force in Effie Young and Akinde. And obviously, there's like Yeovil, who'll probably finish about mid-table. York again, they're another one who you don't know what could happen to them. So
yeah,
I think it's just going to be a lot closer league this season. I don't think we're going to get a runaway leader. I'm not particularly sold on Barnet as well. I know they signed 16 players. I'm not 100% on them. I think Southend will definitely be up there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a close league. And I feel like we're going to be one of them teams who's not going to score many. It's going to be like 1-0, 2-1 games. And our defence is going to be really strong because I do think we probably have got the best defence in the league. I think Month has been an absolute animal in pre-season. He's just completely changing defence. And I think Raglan looks really well next to him as well.
Yeah.
What about Hobson though? That's the other thing, isn't it? It's that where's he going to fit in? That's my concern because I thought he was one of our standout defenders last season.
Yeah, I think we'll go three at the back. I think that would look stronger that playing like that. I think Ogle running down the wing because he likes to get forward, and I don't think he fancies Kitchen anymore. The last two friendlies, I think obviously what happened the back end of last season, he just completely tailed off, and I think Capri might end up playing there instead. Because some of the videos, he looks like he's fast and he can get down the wing and get forward.
He can play both sides, can't he? And
exactly, he's a very good signing to have because, like,
bit of competition for Kitchen though. We might get a bit more out of him as a result, eh?
Exactly that. So I'm all for signing him because he can play both sides, and like I said, he's got pace, and we've lacked pace over the last couple of years. We've been slow to build it up, and I think with having him there, both wingers getting forward, it'd be good. I think Conlon's looked okay. He's got forward, and Garner's Garner, but he just can't keep fit. We need to manage him a little bit better this season to try and keep him on the pitch as long as possible.
Yeah.
Are you convinced with Conlon being the club captain now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think he's the one, the only probably leader on there who's probably done it out of all the team. Maybe Raglan, Brian Shout, but I think Conlon in the friendlies has been vocal. He's been speaking. You can hear him a lot. So yeah, I'm happy. And he's done it with Port Vale. I think our biggest concern is going into the season with Fondop up front on his own. He's good to have on for the last 10 minutes. I don't think he's going to be the one to get us goals from the start. I think he's pretty predictable. He could have been sent off twice in pre-season.
He won't get away with it when the season starts.
Exactly that. And I watched him closely at Warrington Rylands. They were doing a little passing drill. Like, it was just a simple 10-yard passing, and Kitchen had to go over to him and go, Mikey, can you keep it on the grass and pass the ball straight? So it's just like, dear me.
It's that thing about having that combination in it up front with if Garner's out and Norwood's out and you've got Reed and Fondop. It's not a combo that I'm not missing anyone else, am I? There's only those two, isn't there?
Yeah, it's only those four.
Yeah,
they're all pretty similar because Reed, he's come back. He looks an absolute beast. Reed, but he's just not touched the ball, and I think he's got too much muscle. If that is possible, he just looks like he's lost a yard of pace because he was a bit quicker last year, getting in and behind. But it feels like he's got too much muscle.
Could we play someone in as like a number 10 and just have one of them up front? Do you think?
They tried it with Kay, didn't they? But obviously he's injured as well.
Yeah.
They seem to be obviously wanting Charsley and Hammond to be the two behind. And Charsley's looked all right. He reminds me a bit of Akila Dunn. Like he's not the quickest, but he gets in and about, passes about, and runs around a much. Which I think he's looked pretty decent. He's been put a good few couple of balls for his. He can read a game pretty well. So that's who he reminds me of.
Are we going to be seeing Latics doing what Gateshead did the other day? Have you seen that move from Gateshead? Proper.
No, I don't think we have them sort of players to get. Well, I don't know them to get that forward. I think we're going to be quicker getting forward, and that was a big concern last year. Was a bit slow to move the ball, weren't we? And we're like, oh god, it's sideways, backwards. I think we have got a bit more pace now, but I don't think it's as good as Gateshead that move there did. But
you don't want to be turning around and passing it back to Manny Monthday because he'll just glare at you and go, "Get it up the field."
No, to be fair, he moves. He brings the ball out.
Yeah.
He's been one like going forward. He's been down left wing and stuff like that. He's been really surprised. I thought like I said, he's a big old junior, but he can actually play a bit, and it's a refreshing. I mean, like Hogan though, who doesn't want the ball, just wants to hoof it.
Yeah, I think we'll see another striker before Saturday. I
hope so. We need somebody up front. Up there, I think Norwood needs. I don't think Norwood can play with Fondop. I think you're having to coach him through the game too much.
Martin said here, Fondop and Garner did look decent at times last season, but Garner's injured at the minute. And I mean, what we need is we need that whoever it is up top to get games together and to get the combinations and the routine going, don't we, consistently. And if we are gonna mount a proper serious challenge.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think it's going to be beneficial for us to have 7 subs. Then 2 extra places on the bench. Because you were always having to drop one of like, obviously I think we have 3 strikers on the bench at one point last year because we had that many. So it's going to be good that we can have a couple of different options. And I think Jez he's going to frustrate fans. I think he's got a lot of ability. He's very raw. He gets to like the bar line and he just doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't work out, or sometimes he's easily tackled. And I think that will frustrate fans. But I think there is some potential there with him.
I spoke to a Rochdale fan actually at the Gladiators when I went on Sunday, and he said, "Look, you sound that." He said he's a great player, but he gasses out after about 35 minutes, and then he'll just stop running around for about 30 minutes, and then you'll show like a little bit of a spell towards the end of the game. But then he was always injured for him last season as well. He was always getting injured. So
yeah, we look fit though. I think because obviously pre-season now it's been structured with Mellon, and we've looked fit. We've looked like we're not leggy in the friendlies. We've run it. We've ran to the full 90. Well, players who have for the full 90 minutes. I think Jez is one of them who has played most of the last back end 90 minutes. I think maybe. Well, because of fitness issues, they've made him play.
Who do you think will challenge us this? Well, you said we're going to be 11. What do you think?
Well, I've got 11. I just don't think we need. If we have a striker and someone who creates some chances, that's what we're missing. We're just missing that player in between the midfield and the strikers to create just have assists because we don't create much. I'd like to have a few more goals from set pieces. Especially corners, because we're looking in the group and from a header. I don't think we scored one last year. I think it was just Garner. Halifax is the only one. I think our biggest danger is ourselves. If we need to start well. If we start well, we can get on a roll. Looking at obviously the crowd, what it potentially could be on Saturday, I think it'd be pretty low. I think we're looking 5,500 maximum, which is pretty disappointing for an opening game. But if we start winning games, the crowds start coming back. We just need to start winning games. Start winning games at the start of the season. We need to be up there from the start.
Games as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, home games massive because what is it? Mellon's only won 3 home games all last season, and it wasn't good enough to win that many. But we just need to win home games and win our first game for once.
Yeah, well, you have to also remember that. I mean, it would be hugely disappointed if we didn't. But it's also the season's not lost on the first game of the season, is it? So it's trying to maintain that sort of positive mindset and hope that the team grows. We've not had a proper team. You know, you look at talking about Gateshead, like the move that they did the other day, they were passing it around in their own penalty area like Man City. I don't know who they were playing. I mean, they might be playing Gateshead reserves for all I know, but like they were passing it around and then they brought. You know, they've got that identity that they've been playing that way for the last 4 or 5 seasons or whatever it is. You can see them. We've not got to that point yet at Latics where we've got a squad of players that are comfortable in the system and they know each other. And we've kept a good number of players this time from last season, which is really good because that'll obviously they're a lot more used to each other. They've had the same manager as they did for most of last season, or at least half of last season. And so these are the encouraging signs, the encouraging things. I think Latics fans will be happy if we compete if it's tight, and I think it will be tight. I don't think, like you said, I don't think anyone's necessarily going to run away with it. There's going to be a chasing pack for that playoffs. And it's going to be real. And as long as we're in there and it's exciting,
exactly.
Then I think everyone will be okay with that.
Exactly. The main thing is, after the first 2 seasons in this league, after 10 games, we've all come on air with alarm bells, thinking, "Yeah, it's going to be a long, hard season." This, we need to be in there from the start, from the playoffs. Set the bar that we're not leaving the playoffs all season, and that's what we need to do. And it's going to be tight and stuff like that, but we need to be in there all the time. And it's down to the others to chase us.
Well, there's no excuses. There's no excuses not to start this season well. And that doesn't mean that going out we have to beat Braintree 7-0 and
exactly,
title winners for the year. But yeah, exactly. But just that kind of they've had a great pre-season preparation. Everything at the club's been great. It's been settled. The manager, they've got the new coaching staff. Everything's been done. Everything that the manager needs, he's been getting. Everything the players need, they've been getting. He's managed to sign players that he wants to sign. So there has to be an improvement on how we finished last season, and you'll probably be able to pull this fact out, Brad. But what was the last game we saw us win? Because we didn't win for
Eastleigh.
Was it
Eastleigh? So and I'm still blaming our collapse on Andy Halliwell singing "E-I-E-I" or the 87th minute of Eastleigh, and it's gone down from that moment.
Yeah,
they scored 2 minutes later.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that's I don't know which last win was on a Saturday.
And it was ages ago, that wasn't it? I mean, it was.
Yeah. Well, there were only 2 home wins we had since in 2024. What is it? Is it Barnet on the Tuesday night and was Hartlepool New Year's Eve before New Year's Eve, weren't it?
Boxing Day, was it? Not Boxing Day. Yeah. Between Boxing Day and New Year's Eve, it was, wasn't it? The day before New Year's Eve.
So we've not had a home win on a Saturday this year.
Yeah. So we are like quite hungry for that home win on Saturday, aren't we? And it will just settle a lot of nerves and
exactly.
Say, it'll make everybody a lot more. Well, make people want to actually book a ticket and come to the game as well. For those
exactly. I just hope people just don't get on the back from like the first 5-10 minutes if it's not going our way. Just want us to obviously settle into the season and just let the players just pass it around, do what they need to do, and hopefully the chances will come. Obviously our fans, the longer the game goes, because we need to get rid of that mentality of like, oh, these are bin men or these are whoever. Because we're in this league now. This is our first season in this league. You start thinking, are we the bin men?
We should be over that. We should be over that. We've seen how well some of these teams can play on their day, and you've got to respect the players. We've had players from teams come from even lower down and players off the park. Hendon came in and played us off the park. So you've got to respect the teams, and you've got to, we've said this all season last year, you've got to earn the right to win. When you've got a battle, you've got a battle. When you've got the ball, you've got to keep the ball, stop giving it away, and you've got to make chances. I think you're right about the defense. I think we are going to be solid. And if we can get a decent. Also, Brad, we need goals from around the team, don't we?
Yeah.
We didn't get enough goals from around the team last season. Without Norwood's goals, we'd have been in big trouble.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's why set pieces are going to be important. We need to get the defence. I don't think the defence actually scored a goal, did they, really? Can't really remember Hogan doing anything. I don't think Raglan or Hobson got a goal. So we need to be stronger. It needs to be throughout the team, the goals. And we can't just keep relying on Norwood, because Norwood, when he comes back, he's going to take a bit of time. And I think people need to forget what happened last season with him, because I love Norwood, me. Need to forget about him, not smiling, not celebrating. Just let him get off his back and just let him play. And
I guarantee if he's scoring goals and we're winning games and we're near the top of the league, he will be a much happier looking footballer, because that's what he wants. He wants to be in a winning team, scoring goals, enjoying himself. He wasn't enjoying being part of some of those performances and stuff that was going on last season. And I can understand that, because it was shocking at times. So I think that's the key. If he's in a better team and he's getting more chances, scoring more goals, and further up the table, we'll see a lot more smiles from him. And let's hope so.
Definitely.
Right, shall we move on to Chris in Brittany? Thanks for your call, Brad.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, mate.
I'll keep an eye out for you at Rochdale Road End on Saturday.
Will do. See
All
you
right,
later.
take care, mate. See you later. Right, let's go over to France. Sure, the Olympic spirit is really, really strong with Chris. All right, mate.
All right, lads. You all right?
You okay, mate?
Are you?
Yeah, grand. Yeah, on the up. Yeah, grand. Listen, I just wanted to phone in because I was listening to you. I've listened to your podcast, and they've been great. Thank you very much for the predictions, and the Mellon interview was fantastic. I don't think it was about 11th, Dave. I've got to admit that, but there you go. That's my opinion, mate. But I wanted to go back to the fans forum. I thought Micky Mellon came across really well in the fans forum, and I think he answered all the questions honestly, frankly, and I think he made some really good points. And Brad's just touched the same about the fans getting on the team's back. I think we need to adopt what Brad just said and keep off the team. If the team is not going how we want it to go from the outset, we've just got to give it a chance to grow this season. We've learned. We did come into this league thinking we were big bollocks and we're going to win it. We didn't win it. We've been put in our place by a small club, and we've learned our place. We've learned to respect other teams for what they are, and we are where we are on bad merit, shall we say? And I think we just got to grow into the league and accept our fate and grow with it and trust Micky. And I think he's done a great job of getting rid of some of the, I'll say deadwood, some of the players that weren't committed to Oldham. And I think, he's building a team that he wants to build. Bit defensively, maybe, but hey, if we win them all 1-0, ugly, goes in off somebody's ass, who gives a flying? You know what I mean? We just got to get out of this league, haven't we? And I think, like you said, the momentum will spring forward. We will spring onwards from here. And I just think we need to get behind him. I've not Mellon sometimes. I got fed up with him a bit Southgate-ish last season. I couldn't believe it, but I didn't realise that at the last 11 games, we drew 7. We didn't lose that many, did we? We just didn't win enough. And that was the problem. So I think we need to bring another striker on board and just hopefully Micky will just get the new players will give us the pace, the confidence, the width, and the guile to go forwards rather than going backwards and negative. That's just what I think this season, and I think we'll do. I think we'll get in the playoffs. Championship, it's anybody's this year. It's anybody's. It's not Barnett's because they've got Shelton. Their stuff. Yeah. They've got no. They've got Shelton. Yeah. Anybody's trying Shelton. They've no.
Well, he's going to come to Braintree Park and look like a world beater in here. It's bound to happen, isn't it? But
he's more going to look like a panel beater, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I don't think he looks like a No, I think it's going to be a good season. I'm confident, but I always am at the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? But I mentioned this one with real confidence that the club's changed direction, and I think Mellon's got a grip. I think he's got a grip. People don't like some of his things he does, but he's in charge. He's a gaffer. He's an old-fashioned gaffer, and he's doing what he should do. And he doesn't hide. He says it how he sees it, and I can't knock him for that. Fair play.
There's no messing about. There's no messing about now. He's setting a standard, and his job over his 3-year deal is to get us out of this division, and at least prepare the club to be, even if he doesn't do it, there are scenarios where in this division where with only one automatic promotion place, you could finish second for the next 3 seasons and not go up. And you couldn't then turn around and say, well, the manager's not done a good job, because it's a very, very difficult division to get out of for those reasons. So, and then if you think about moving forward and moving up the leagues, think about how many players. Barnett. I think Ben bringing 16 players in. I'd be worried if I was Barnett fan, because I'm thinking this is not good. This is too much of an upheaval. If we move into League 2. you only want to be signing a few players to make your squad better, to have a promotion push for that. So we've seen it with Stockport and Wrexham. You've got to load your squad with players that are good enough for the levels above, so that you can hit the ground running. And that the players that we've seen in this squad over the last few seasons have been way off that. You look at the clubs that some of these players are moving on to. Harrison McGay going to into the Welsh league
CNS,
and things like that. Yeah, so these players are have been way off the mark. So
Sam Ward going to North Shields, is it, or
yeah,
South Shields?
Yeah. So we've that's what we've got. So we are steadily now replacing that with with experienced Football League players who are dropping down the divisions to come and play for us, which is exactly what happened with the likes of Notts County and Wrexham and Stockport. So that's what we're doing, and over the next couple of seasons, I think we'll be in a really, really strong position. We'll have a proper Micky Mellon team, whatever that looks like at Oldham. We haven't seen that yet, but we're making progress, and for me, I'm happy with that. I mean, I'm like Brad Daw. It's not that the season's defined at the first game of the season, but what a difference it'll make to our mental health and sense of well-being if we come away from Boundary Park on Saturday with 3 points on the opening day of the season for a change.
Yeah, it will be an absolute bonus. I mean, we've seen it all recently, and we've all seen the games below Oxford, and last year was it last. Let's not talk about last year, because I mean last year was just. I was sat in the garden actually listening to it on the street, because it wasn't even the stream and it was on the radio, and I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I was gutted. I was gutted. But I think this year, we've got a better outlook, and I think when you see like these St Andrews training camp, the training sessions, like the media team have done a fantastic job. There seems to be a real togetherness within the team and the group of players. There seems to be an happier feeling, a genuine sincerity of enjoying it, not the Christmas Day or shit what we're doing here sort of crap. It really looks like there's been a good bonding, and if you move together as a team,
the culture's improved, hasn't it? I think that's one thing I've got to say that I've seen, having a laugh. But you got to think about these people like who've gone. Like I loved him, but Nathan Sherrin went. He wasn't a strong character. Harrison McGay, he was brought in under. Who was it? Who brought him in?
Keith
Curl.
Keith Curl.
Was he a bad egg? Was he causing problems in the dressing? You don't know. These people who've just been there for so long, they sort of stagnate, and they're sort of there for being their sake. Liam Hogan, whilst he does talk a good game, you could tell that his legs had gone. Do you know what I mean? In some respects, he wanted to get rid of the ball, and if you see your captain wanting to get rid of the ball all the time, Kitchen, he lost his way towards the end of the season because of all the Reed debacle, which we won't go into. Reed has got his second chance. He's got a bit more competition now, Kitchen. That lad, Caprice, comes in. He's 31 years old. It's another older head. Manny Monthe, he's an experienced player with a lot of league games behind him. We've actually got a keeper in Hudson who we're going to start with, because at the start it was Norman, then it was Hudson, then it was something. So there was no consistency. And hopefully Hudson doesn't go to Wigan, but if he does, he does. Nothing you can do about that. The club's got to make money. But it's having that consistency at the back, like Raglan, Hobson, Monthe, Regan Ogle. He played very well for Scunthorpe. We were looking at him for a number of years. Kitchen, he's good on his day, and I don't think he's a bad player, but he just needs confidence. That midfield, again, is a concern. I think we need an older head in there. Conlon is good. Gardner, Hammond, I think, but Kerr, I haven't seen much of him. Is he that quality that we need? And Charnsley, Brad rates him in the friendlies. I haven't seen any as of yet, but hopefully we can see it. But it's just that culture. Hopefully, will grow and grow and grow, and it grows by winning games. Ultimately.
It does, and individual players. I mean, obviously, a team is made up of individuals, but a good team, is put together in a certain way, and it's not based around individuals. It's based around the combination of players. So, players come to Oldham, whatever their track record, whatever their history. Mellon's job is to say, like he said when he was talking about trialists, players are coming in, they're of good standard, but they're not what we need. We've already got somebody like that. It's putting together these little pieces and building this squad up because it is a squad game over a long, hard season. assembling that squad so that there is that balance through and that consistency throughout. And I think one of the most reassuring things that I got about Micky Mellon, and we said this about him when he was doing his interviews early on, he reminded me of Shez in that way. But that when he was talking about taking the emotion out of it, he said, I take the emotion out of it. My job is to be the manager of Oldham Athletic and do what's best for Oldham Athletic. And if that means you've got to tell players hard things, you've got to take the emotion out of it, you've got to do what is best for the squad and for the club and for the team. And that's brilliant. That is exactly what needs to be done. And it's a very, very hard thing to do, I'm sure. But there was a look in his eye when he was saying it that I was like, yeah, I believe that. I can see that look in his eye. He's going to do what he feels is right for the team and is right for the club. And as fans, I think we've just got to try and trust that. That he knows what he's doing, that he's been there and he's done it. And I'm sure he didn't come into every club that he was at partway through the season and then have them playing brilliantly by the end of it. I'm sure it took a bit of time. So let's hope, on Saturday that there is a decent crowd there and that we get behind the players and we get behind the manager. And then he said, like he said in the interview, they have their part to play, don't they? They've got to give the crowd something to cheer about. They've got to get us excited. They've got to get the ball forward. They've got to have shots on goal, and that's on them. But we are that, like you said, Dave. There is that sense of togetherness, and it's exciting. And I genuinely felt when I was talking to Mellon that he wants the fans on board with that. He wants the whole thing to be, because there's no doubt we are the most intimidating team in the league if we get everything right. The size of the stadium, the size of the fan base, the manager, some of the players we've got in, like, goal scorer like Norwood, defenders like Manny Month at the back. If we can get Braintree Park as close to full as possible and rocking, teams that are coming in there should be intimidated by that experience. And if we can get that right, then we'll start like Wrexham. When we went to Wrexham, I mean, they gave us that tiny little enclosure at the top. They made an absolute racket, played us off the park both times. And we all just went away with our tail between our legs, really. And most teams did. And that's the kind of scenario we need to try and emulate at Braintree Park.
I think also the other point is that, again, the Mellon signings now, I think there's rumours that people getting brought in without, this head of recruitment. They're all on Mellon, aren't they? And this Terry McPhillips as well. I've got a relative who knows him very well, and he said that guy knows a good player when he sees it. So they've had that summer now to work together, and it's down to them. He's made them signings with the knowledge that they're the good players, and he's obviously looked at the stats and. There's not been any knee-jerk bringing people in every 5 minutes like we did in previous scenarios. We've got to be a bit more measured because of the restrictions on budget. But hopefully, from what I've seen when he's brought in Stones, Hammond, Conlon to some degree when he first played against Barnet, he played him off the park. But again, it takes these. We haven't mentioned Lundstrom as well. He came good towards the end of last season. Hopefully, he's sort of settled in now, and he's mentioned that it's a big responsibility playing for a club like Oldham. It's completely different. So
Conlon needs to show us that he's that guy, though, doesn't he? He's played at a similar. I think we're a bigger club than Port Vale, but. Yeah, he's the captain now, and this season we want to be like, oh yeah, that's the player that we signed.
I'm confident Conlon will show his guile. While you're on that subject about players who've played previously for Micky Mellons, I think the thing is, a lot of fans, or certain fans, say, oh, if it's not an ex-Tranmere or an ex-fan, he's going back to his old roots. But equally so, it works both ways. That some of these players are good players, and they've played under Mellons before, and they want to play for him again. That to me is a good sign. That quality players want to come back and go back under Micky Mellon. So let's see what we don't know, because these are professional players. They can see what we don't know and we don't understand, and they want to play for Micky Mellons. And that to me, that's good enough. Because Micky Mellons at the moment is Oldham Athletic, and I think it's. He's leading from the front, and he's recruiting quality that he knows, and they want to play for him. That to me is a great sign.
That's a good point. Yeah. Right, what's your prediction, Chris? How do you think we're going to get on this season?
My heart wants to win the league, but my brain's saying in the playoffs is a success. If we get in the playoffs, it's an improvement on last season. Because it really is. It's a progression. I think the playoffs in this league are a terrible lottery. It's a bit like the refereeing decisions. You don't know what you're going to get. But and also, I mean, depending on if we can finish in the top 3, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with it. I'll be delighted with that. No, I'm not happy. That's not the word. I'll be delighted with that. Beyond that, anywhere in the playoffs, just keep our season going and give us something to build on. And as you say, to back Micky Mellon and the players and Frank and family who've put a lot into this club, and they need some just rewards. I just think we need, we crave, and by God, we deserve some success this season, one way or another. Please, we need.
By God,
and let's just stick together as fans, because the fans are better as a group on Twitter, on Facebook. There's less bickering. I know certain fans are not around anymore, but there's less bickering. Us as fans, let's not argue. We can all have opinions and disagree, friendly, sociably, and not slag each other off. But let's stick together as fans, a club, players, and move forward. Come on, lads, let's do it this year. Please.
And just to echo that, what you said with some fans who aren't here, we've lost a couple of fans over the summer, which is very sad. So the condolences from us at the Fawning and the club to the families and theirs, and any fans who knew him well. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And just on that, you might notice that Michael Sixsmith has got a GoFundMe at the moment, Latics fan, who I've unfortunately I've not got the link with me. But if you will, I'll pin it to the he's got a very rare form of cancer, and he needs private treatment, and there's been a collection going around. So have a look on our socials, and I'll pin it to the Twitter feed. And if you can chuck a couple of quid his way, then please do. Yeah, so yeah, we are all in it together. We're all Latics fans, and we all want the best for the club, and it's something that the town, especially at the minute with the way things are, that all the town can be proud of. If we can all get behind it and pull in that same direction, it'd be really, really fantastic. So let's hope for your top 3. I'll take that all day long. And it's good to talk to you,
when we finish 11th, I'll tell you I told you so.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Lock him out in that Tory just because he lost. All right. Good evening, lads. Keep the show going. It's brilliant. Thanks for being there, lads. Thanks for everybody. All the best. And bring home the 3 points on Saturday. Bye, lads.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Right. Matthew, so yeah, that's good. Huh?
What are you doing on Saturday between 10 and 11?
I thought I might go to Tommyfield Market.
All right. Doing anything in particular?
I thought I might talk about Look at Latics on Oldham Community Radio, mate.
Yeah, so if you want to listen in, we are on DAB and 97.7 FM.
Yeah, we're going to do our Look at Latics show from 10 to 11. We're going to do it this season. We're going to do it before home games only.
Yes, that's right, me old mate. We've got some new features. We'll have the texts.
Love your texts.
Winner stays on. Well, you'll find out if you listen on what that's all about. And we might even get some interviews with some ex-players.
Oh, really?
If they come back to me. Believe me, I've been trying. But yeah, we'll just listen out, and you can download it on Mixcloud, can't you? Which we'll send a link out after the show as well.
Absolutely. Right, thanks for joining us, Dave.
Yeah, no problem, my friend.
All right, thanks for watching and for participating, if you did. And we'll see you on Saturday for a Look at Latics on Oldham Community Radio, and the Boundary Park Alert System podcast will be back on Monday from 5 a.m. Come on, Oldham. The Latics Football Phone-In is a QPod production for We Are Oldham, dedicated fan media. If you'd like to know more about QPod, visit kupod.co.uk.